Welcome to Garnetqueentarot. How are my wonderful Libras doing today? How are you guys doing today? Okay, you know what we're going to do, right? So don't roll your eyes. We have to practice our breathing because what I'm realizing is we get better messages when both sides are cleared. Clear the space, clear the energy. You got to practice your breathing, relax so you don't come up in here tense and just fed up with life and situations and people. You come in here relaxed. You shake it off your shoulders. Ooh, you shake it. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Ooh. I know y'all feel better already. Stop playing. Coming here with the ills of the world and the challenges and questions and doubt. And we don't want all of that. We don't want it. Return to sender. You got to clear your space. Let nobody break through this. Nobody disturb your peace and solace right now. It's about rising above the circumstances. Garnetqueentarot, where we are inspired to rise. Inspired to rise. Okay. Taking our soul journey right now. When we're releasing that energy, we have positivity. We feel loved. We're in that space, in that realm where you just feel good for no darn reason, just because. That's what I want. Every time people visit our channel, I want them to relax and be okay. I want your mindset, your mode, everything to be a positive energy. Because when your energy is positive, it transfers to me, and we have that positive connection. That's what I want on a continuous basis. Because some of y'all be burning up the energy. I don't want that. I want to connect with you. I want the messages to come clear. I want you to gain the clarity that you need. So no matter how, we got to keep going through this until we get it right on a continuous basis. Libras, we have to make sure our energy is cleared. Spirits, talk to us on behalf of our Libras. Give them the clarity necessary for them to gain access to answers to questions they may have. Unveil signs to them so they can see beyond, not just here and now. Allow them to open doorways and windows that will bring in the positive and good energy that they need to rise above and be inspired to rise. A lightness and airiness, a connection. Come on, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen for our wonderful Libras. Yes, talk to us and release messages and signs meant for them. Allow them to see it outside of the BS. You know what I mean? Death. I'm learning that endings are merely beginnings. Okay? You ever see people, something changed in their life and they go on the loudspeaker at the job? I saw somebody do that at Home Depot. And they said, I quit today. And they had told about some supervisors that were horrible. That's part of your life. That's part of your experience. That's part of your journey. That's part of the process. So when you're able to bury things that were meant to teach you and take you to the next level, sometimes we don't look at it like that. We think, oh my goodness, what is this? What is that? But you have to look at it differently. Look how they look at it. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. So sometimes when you close one chapter, not sometimes, when you close one chapter, you open another, period. Whether you continue with that chapter and just add to it is determined by you. But if it ended, it's a new chapter anyway. So that story ended. This one is beginning. You could say what happened after it ended. Needless to say, this This relationship, this job, this career move is over. It has ended, and I've moved on to new beginnings. And that's how you have to look at things through life. Because the pain and anguish that you hold on to as you're dwelling about what was, you could put that same positive energy now into moving forward and taking a new adventure. It's a new beginning. Whether forced or not, you still have to grow and move on past what was. And it's up to you how you proceed. Envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. And that's what people have to realize. People might see you and you doing well and you're growing and you've walked into your own, but they don't know what your experiences were prior to you accomplishing your goal. And that's, I think, is miscommunication with people. You don't have to know what I've been through to respect who I am. Now, if I choose, that's what you're saying, right, Libra? If I choose to share with you my past experiences, fine, as the decision is mine. But don't look at me and assume you know my story and I didn't tell it to you. Okay? Unless I put a book out there with my story, you shouldn't be envying anything about anybody, especially me. Because I got a story. We all have a story to tell. But people rather sit down and look at you and hate what you have, not knowing what you've been through to get it. People work for what they have. Yeah, there's some people that it's generational wealth and they was just born with it. But that's normally the top 1%, right? There are people that work every day to put food on the table for their families. And they have to go through, stuff at work. I'll say stuff at work, stuff with coworkers, stuff with employers. Sometimes they have to put their pride to the side because they know they need this job to maintain. Meanwhile, some of them are going to school so they could get a better position, get a better rate. Some of them are starting businesses because they can't take working for other people. Businesses don't always stay up all the time and maintain. You got to put work in it and work in it until it really gives you a return on your investment. Life is about going through processes. Some are struggling, makes people struggle financially, makes people struggle mentally. But through the process, people have a goal that they set for themselves. Yes, they're drifters through life, but don't judge people by what you see now. Everybody has a story. So focus on your story so you could reach the goals you want to reach, so that our Libras don't need to be watching over their shoulders for backstabbers. Put your sweat equity into everything so you could achieve what you're looking for, what you're aiming for, what you so desire. But don't give no evil eye or hate to nobody else. I've seen so many, oh my gosh, movies. I love watching movies. My daughter loves movies, so of course she has me into movies. You know, so many movies that it's like, wow. People think like that. Wow. People have dreams for themselves and they want to achieve certain things in life. People come up with creations or decorations. Like me, I love to decorate. I love to decorate. You know, some people just love that clear space and everything. I like stuff that look a little lived in. You know, my kids might like those concrete block houses and stuff like that. And I don't want no cold wall house. You know, that's not my thing. I like homes where it feels warm. I like greenery. I love plants. I love greenery. I just love it. You know, I just love things. To me, it brings so much warmth and love. I love to decorate. Like I always have different rooms in my house. This one, like it'll be the red room. And, I fix it up really nice and it has red in it and different things. And, I just like having different themes and decorating. Like my bedroom is a jungle, you know, and I'll have the plants all over my room. And I like walking in there and feeling like I'm somewhere else. It feels so good to me. I'm somewhere else. And that's what I want. So, whatever you want in life, rather than taking the time and energy to focus on what somebody else has, they can give you some ideas, but focus on what you truly want. Don't envy anybody. Don't envy anybody. But Libra, there's some people on your end that are envying you. You can't help that. That's just the way life is. All you could do is be your best self, and who likes you like you, who doesn't. But work towards your goals. Put on your blockers so you don't see or hear the naysayers and haters. You continue praying to your source. You continue focusing on what you want to achieve in your life with intensity, with commitment. Rise above. Because what we going to do? What you going to do with the haters? What you going to do? Success is the greatest satisfaction. So you continue on your path. And that's what my dad used to tell me all the time. Love you, Daddy. That's what my dad used to tell me all the time. He used to say, perseverance seldom fails. It's not your job to worry about who like you and who don't like you, because there's always going to be people that like you and always people that don't like you, no matter how much good you do in the world, how much good you do in your life, how much bad you do. It doesn't matter. There are always going to be people for you and against you. You work toward becoming your best self. And who falls in line with you, fine. Who doesn't, there's nothing you could do about it. What you going to do? What you going to do? And one thing he used to say to me too, when you know your people, your job is done. And being a little kid, when you hear that, sometimes it's like, what? He said, when you know your people, your job is done. And he means that if you know that people that you ask to keep a secret can't keep a secret, but you still tell them stuff, when they burn you, whose fault is it? Okay, the first time you say shame on them. The second time, shame on you. That's how it is in life. You do your best. Some people are going to look at you and not like you just because of how you look, how you dress, how you talk. You can't fit in their space if they're not willing to open the door for you to walk in. So you got to make sure that you have a space that's yours, so that when people are hating and sending evil eye and wishing you bad, you've protected yourself because you continue on your course. Success is the greatest revenge. Don't let people take you down while you're in your growth process. Heck, don't let them take you down at all. Continue to focus on building. Block them out. Stay positive and stay focused on you and what you're working to achieve. I hope one day they find out who they want, who they are, and what they want, so they can go after it and stop focusing on what you're achieving. Adversity. See? I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. You know what's going on here? What is going on here, Libra? You're going through some changes right now. You have to start new. So just because something ended doesn't mean that you are not going to have a new beginning and a better beginning. Envy, people are hating on you. You can't control that either. Just do your best. Adversity, people are coming at you. I accept the challenges are the best way to learn. So no matter what they throw on your path, no matter what bumps in the road come about, whether by natural causes or whether by people and their issues, you have to stay strong. And this is a challenging time for you. It's a very challenging time for you. There's some loss. There's some envy. You might have fared well in a lawsuit. You might have lost a loved one. There's people coming at you for all different kinds of reasons, and it's challenges. And as long as you stay in progressive mode, you will get through these storms. You've been through storms before. You know how to walk through. You know how to ride through. You just get frustrated at times, but you know you're going to get through. Because no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Because you staying focused on your goals, your dreams will get you through. About you believing in yourself is okay. You're being tested right now. You're being tested right now. Apply the nuggets that you have learned and picked up along the way to help you to get through these situations. Love, life, experiences, career choices are all complicated. Adversity comes in many forms. And with some of those nuggets that you picked up and you're able to apply here, and the rest would be a growing phase, learning through it. Apply what you've already learned as you continue to glide and slide and drive through these storms. Not every storm is meant to tear you down. Some of them, I say majority of them. Let me tell you this. This is how I look at it. Every storm has a lesson plan. Okay? There are some storms that are meant for you to learn not to do that again. There are some storms that teach you how to put security and protection in place. There are some storms that form a union with the greater good for you, with the angels, with spirits that are wanting you to pick up that lesson and apply it so you can move to the next chapter, to the next lesson plan. And only when you are in tune with who you are, what you want, your great expectations, will you fall in line. Because if you go a different route, it's going to take you on a detour for a minute and push you off course, where you're going to have to start back over again, maybe a little higher up at a different point, because you know how to get through the issues that you ran into initially. But you could miss messages along the way when you don't listen, when you don't become in tune with who you are. You don't pick up the messages. You don't look for the signs. You're just sliding through it and not recognizing what that experience was all about. Let me tell you something. It is so crucial and so important that you get in tune with who you are. It's a must. You must get in tune with who you are and what you want. Ask yourself questions. There's some people that stay in a daze and just be, what do I want? Oh, what do I want? What do I need? Come on. You know what you want. But that's the thing. If you don't know what you want, you have to ask yourself the needful questions to figure out what it is that you are seeking. Or else you're just aimlessly walking through life, not knowing nothing. That's the difference between people that focus, stay on track, manifest, document, learn, teach, and continuously stay in progressive mode. I'm not saying you don't take vacations and breaks and things like that, but you stay on focus on what you're working toward. If you're working on more than one project, define the steps necessary to complete it. Myself, I'll have a checklist. I always have a checklist. Always. Always have a checklist. I believe in checklists. Look at this. I always have a checklist. And then what I achieve, I highlight. I always have a checklist. Because sometimes the memory may escape you. And you're like, oh, shoot, I forgot to do this. But if you document it, it makes it real. It makes it tangible. And then you work the steps that are necessary that you've written down. You cross out as you go along. Before you know it, you've completed your goals, your project, or even ideas you've had in your head. You get to test the waters. And you figure out what works for you. Not on anybody else's schedule, but yours. If you have a career and a job, you know the importance of documenting. Some people will say, oh, you so old school, you still use books to write. Please, when they have them sales at Target and Walmart, and you could get a notebook for 50 cents and all these type of things. I like documenting stuff. Ever since I had a good friend, we did real estate together, and she had on her computer some really important deals. And it so happened that her computer crashed. And what happened? She lost all the information that was in there. They tried to retrieve it. This girl was in tears. Crucial information. Luckily, like some projects, she had already emailed me and I had it. But me, I am a visual person and I like to have tangible information. I like to be able to go to an old notebook and say, dang, I remember. I find numbers that I may not have transferred over or may not be in my new phone or whatever it is. To me, when it's on paper, it's real. You could still have it in the computer. You'd probably say, oh, why two jobs? Because of the chance of losing everything. You could lose stuff with a notebook too, but you know what? You have a better chance. You could have it in both places. I'd rather write it out and then type it on my computer and save the information so I'm covered on all base. Adversity will come to you and you got to stay strong. You got to get through the storms. You got to recognize that there's some envious triggers and targets that'll come at you. Make your intention real. You understand that? Make your intention real. Relationships. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. They always tell you that if you are the smartest person in your group, you need a new group. Because elevation is about climbing. It's about going higher. You know where there's peace? When you get away from all the clutter. When you get away from all the noise. There's some people that go to the suburbs and rural areas because, yes, they may not have access to a lot of things if they go out to those areas. But because of the peace and the solace and lack of traffic, and not saying crime and things like that don't happen in those areas as well, but it's more rarity than it is common ground. Not everybody wants to be in the city life with the hustle and bustle. I lived in New York most of my life, and it's like the trains, the buses, and the this and that. And, when I started learning about different places and traveling more, you get to learn how other parts of the world live, how other people live. And sometimes you get in your own bubble and you don't realize this is not okay. At one point you get so comfortable with how things are in the area where you're from that when you go on the outskirts or to other countries, other states, you're like, dang, this is how you do it. This is how you live. There's some areas that you don't have to worry about locking your front door automatically. There's neighbors that look out for you, might bake you a pie or do different things. I remember when I first moved to an area, the people were like, hello, how are you? The neighbors brought over cookies that they baked for us. It was like everybody came and greeted you. They made you feel welcome. And that was a beautiful thing. I had never experienced that. Even when my parents had moved in the state they moved to, I remember the neighbors would be walking in the mornings, and my dad was a walker. He used to be a track star, so he was a walker, and he loved walking. And good morning and good morning. And I go walk with him sometimes. I said, Daddy, you know that person? No. I'm like, oh, because a lot of times people walk by you and don't even speak. Not in this state. They were so warm to one another. It was just so nice, and it didn't matter what race you were or anything. It's just common decency. Common decency. Little things like, oh, I saw part of your roof fell when it blew in the wind, and I picked up the piece, or just little things that you might not even think about. You look outside at my house, it was like, when the garbage guys come and they leave the trash at the side, sometimes it makes it on the sidewalk, sometimes it doesn't. And I had a neighbor next door that when the trash guys come, she'd bring my garbage can and put it by my garage so we could put it in the garage. I thought that was so sweet. The neighbor was looking out for us. There are still good places and good people in this world. And relationship building is important. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So when people are around you that want the best for you or looking out for you, it makes you look at things differently. You have a different perspective. Your heart is full. You appreciate those things. You have gratitude. There are people that live on blocks that don't know their next door neighbor. They live in apartments and don't know their neighbors. Don't even say good morning to each other. Whereas there are also places, apartments, homes where people say good morning to each other. Larry lives down the road. Jennifer's down the street. Kim is across here. Daniel and his wife live here, blah, blah, blah. And you know everybody. We have potlucks. We do this. We do that. Since COVID, a lot of that stuff has stopped. And some of it permanently, because once you realize that you had to keep telling people to wash their hands, make you think twice before eating from anybody. But I digress. All I'm saying to you is continue to be your best, do your best. You can't control people that look at you and don't like you. You look at the groups that you're in. If you're constantly rising up and you're in groups where they still haven't taken the next step, it gives a little bit room for them to start becoming envious and not even liking you because they feel you're getting ahead. Some people, oh, you're going too quickly, you're going too fast. You wouldn't believe the things that people say to people. Libra, you can't control how other people feel, but you can control your actions and how you move and what you do. Focus on continuously building you. That's it. Take care of your family, do what you have to do. Continue self-care for yourself. And recognize that not everybody's going to be for you. Not everybody's going to be a team player. But as long as you are your best and doing your best and could back up whatever you say, does it really matter? Because you can't control it anyway. And like Daddy would say, be your best self, and revenge is the best success you could ever exemplify, ever show, ever demonstrate. My mother would say that too. She'd say revenge is the best success. You fall, you get up. You fall, you get up. You have to keep going. You cry, you fall, you get up. Are you going to stay down on the floor? You're a baby? My parents were in the West Indies. They be hard. So they hurt your feelings. So what? Who cares? You might not ever see them again in life. They might go that direction. You go that direction. Who cares? They don't like you. Boo-hoo. And Daddy would say, they didn't like Jesus, so who in the heck are you? Thank you, Daddy. So all I'm saying to you is life isn't always fair, Libra. You'll go through your ups and downs. You'll relax and think and pause. Get your thinking right. Regroup and start again. You are a winner. You are a fighter, and you will get through. Believe that. Even when your heart is bleeding and aching, you'll get through. Think of an experience that you never thought you could get through and you did. How strong did you have to be? It's showing chaos, new beginnings, envy, adversity, relationships. You're being challenged and tested. But you know what? You've been here before. And you're still standing. So you know what? You're going to get through these obstacles as well. If nobody's told you this yet, you got this. Libra, you got this. Believe that. You got this. Ain't no shame in your game. You're stronger than you're giving yourself credit for. You've been through. You've been here before. You know what it's like. Flap your wings and be the eagle you were meant to be. Stand with your head held high, your shoulders up. Give gratitude and thanks for what you've already overcome in your life. Have intention on where you plan to be. Stay focused, deafen your ears to the naysayers, to the haters. Make sure you have your darkers on. As my husband always say. He says he has his darkers, so he don't have to look directly at people all the time unless he's in some kind of meeting. He said because there are people that'll look you in your face just to get a reaction out of you. So just protect yourself and stay strong and keep documenting on paper what it is you want. Even if you got to type it in your computer, your laptop, your tablet, anything, your phone, put it in notes, document to make it real and focus on it. Peace, love, prosperity. Garnetqueentarot here saying thank you for stopping by the channel. Be inspired to rise. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Be your best self. And thank you again for supporting. Be you, Libra. You are worthy, definitely. Take care and talk soon.